What is up, everybody? Bigjuicyhog here. Welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be going over a new Anthem update, basically the new Javelin Gameplay and Builds, as written by Christian Daly, the studio director for Bioware and Anthem. So anyone who hasn't played Anthem, it was kind of a looter shooter in the third-person genre, and it was not that great. There were a lot of problems with the game. I played it upon release, I got all the way through the game, and then there was really not much to do at endgame, and the systems were broken, the characters weren't really fun to play, the loot really wasn't fun, and they kept nerfing the loot rates to make it even worse. So we're going to go ahead and dive into what they've changed, and maybe eventually one day we'll see the new and improved Anthem. So I'm just going to read through the update and I'll interject my opinion in as we go. Let's get into it. Hello friends, here we are again with the next Anthem blog. Better late than never. Really excited to share a glimpse into the thoughts and ideas behind the great work the team has been exploring. I hope this finds you well and everyone is staying safe. As discussed on Twitter, this blog will focus around the ideas being tested with Javelin gameplay, builds, and skill trees. The design team, with your feedback, has put together what we feel are the main opportunities for improvement with the current system and the high-level goals we're experimenting with. Side note, the picture above is not the Star Destroyer ASCII art, but an actual skill tree and frostbite. So I can't really zoom in on that skill tree, it's just kind of there. Please remember the ideas, mockups, and directions are all works in progress. We are testing and exploring ideas that we are excited to share with you for your feedback. But things can and usually do change. Javelin Gameplay and Builds. As we've spent time engaging with all of you and avidly playing the game, we've seen and heard a common theme. Anthem doesn't offer satisfying Javelin builds. We want to improve this too, so we're excited to hear what you think about the changes we're trialing around the concept of builds. Choice and experimentation in your loadout. All items are categorized to one of the 11 available equipment slots. Weapons are either primary or secondary, allowing distinctiveness in their role. Mods and artifact slots replace components. Manage equipment and abilities in your loadout screen. So you see here is a screenshot of the loadout. Reliability creates builds. Abilities are unlocks, not drops. Play with the abilities you want, when you want. Empower your abilities by equipping them with mods. Builds are defined by the synergies of specializations, abilities, and equipment. Inscriptions improve build synergies but are no longer the primary factor. As you see right here, we have a little bit of a slideshow, I guess, showing going into a heavy axe, clicking on it, and it's got the different ability mods inside. Provide choice and progression through skill trees. Each Javelin can level up, awarding skill points. Skill points can be spent to unlock passives, abilities, and stat boosts. Each specialization has its own advanced skill tree. Ranger. So this looks like a different skill tree for the longbow, as you can see here. Expand on the fantasy and playstyles of each Javelin. Javelins have access to multiple specializations that cater to different styles of gameplay. Each Javelin now wields a powerful artifact that can be customized. I guess this is probably a screenshot of an artifact. Looks kind of like a dildo to me. Exploring skill trees. When considering how you grow and become more powerful in Anthem, we observe the pilot level isn't a satisfying measure of your progress. So we set out to answer the question, what would it look like for freelancers to become more skillful at piloting each Javelin? We've been exploring the idea of Javelin experience and levels, which allow you to permanently unlock abilities for your Javelin that you can then customize further with mods. Currently testing these ideas via a new skill tree system. In this system, each Javelin would have a basic skill tree where all of the baseline abilities, passives, and triggered abilities and stat boosts for your Javelin can be unlocked. Here they have the skill tree and they have a ability called Seeker Missile. We would like you to be able to focus on the specific style of gameplay you like best about your Javelin. So after the basic tree is completed, we're also testing the concept of specializations. Each specialization would have an advanced skill tree where you unlock specialization specific abilities, upgrades, and more. What is an artifact? We've heard from you that components feel like nothing more than stat modifiers. With that in mind, we're also experimenting with a new artifact system to replace them. Artifacts are pieces of super-powered tech that set your Javelin and Freelancer apart. Each Javelin type would have a distinct artifact catering towards class fantasy. For instance, your Ranger's rocket pod would be upgraded into the Skyfell Launcher artifact, a pair of back-mounted pods that transform into powerful rocket launchers. These artifacts would change in appearance depending on what parts you equip. There's also an opportunity to allow for more interesting decision making. Parts you equip would contribute to a powerful passive ability generated by the artifact. Thank you. I wanted to close with a thank you to the community for being engaged and providing constructive conversations and feedback on social media. We can't respond to everything, but we do see you and we appreciate all the feedback you provide. Thank you for your input and patience. I also want to give a special heartfelt shout out to the Anthem team, this group of passionate developers that are dealing with the stresses of the world, and we all are, and the trials and tribulations of game development, but continue to bring a passion and enthusiasm each day to make the game we all love better. Thank you. Till next time, friends, stay safe, be kind, be well, stronger together. Christian. So overall, it looks like they got a number of new changes coming out for the Javelins, but it all sounds like it's kind of in an experimental phase. At this point, with all the experimental phases they have, I honestly don't know if this is ever going to be re-released as a new version of the game. Which is a shame because a lot of people paid for that game and end up being a giant pile of dookie. Now I'll say that all this stuff looks pretty promising. A lot of people thought this was going to be closer to a Destiny clone, and a lot of this stuff will probably make it a little bit closer to that. But as you can see, Destiny was successful and this game really was not. Aside from the initial purchases, it got really bad reviews and people quit it in droves. So while I'm glad that they are making some updates to the game and they're looking to make it into the game that it should have been to start with, I also don't know how they're going to cram all this stuff into whatever time period they have. By the time this game comes out, either people won't care or it'll just never come out. But anyways, that's my thoughts on it. What do you guys think of Anthem, if you played it at all? Are you looking forward to the reboot? I will catch you in the next video.